Okay, we're picking up in Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, well, let me stop for just a second. I want you to start hearing with this background. That's one of the things we have to learn to hear, is hear in context, in the situation. So when we're reading this, I want you to think of what's going on and how what's said addresses that. Then I want to get your reaction a little bit after I read it. Just this kind of connection, this situation to what's being written. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So evening and morning were the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Thus God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens, to give light on the earth." And it was so. Then God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So evening and morning were the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly across the earth, fly above the earth, across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing according to its kind, and beasts of the earth, each according to their kind." And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image and likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In his own image, in the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." And God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, in which there is life, I have given every green herb for food." And it was so. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. Before I even get into the text, any observations on your hearing with this background? Margaret?
When you started reading, for the first time I felt I actually heard God, God, God. So whilst you were reading, I took the opportunity to count it. And it was 31 verses, 32 times, the word God.
31 verses, 32 times God is there. That's pretty significant in itself, isn't it, when you begin to understand how you understand the passage and what the focus is of the passage.
Exactly. For the first time I realized.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Any other observations? I thought I saw another. Yes, Ray.
Well, I was just thinking, and I hadn't thought about it until you told us who he was writing to, post-slavery. They were used to all these gods, and they were dominated by a superior, in their mind, people because of their gods. And just to see in the beginning, God, one God, created all of this. And I was just thinking of it. They must have felt some kind of, shock, like in a way, in a good way, like one God has created this, the one has, liberated us, our God created this.
That's very interesting you say that, because one of the things that you see with all those 2,000 gods is there's always territorial control over who gets to say on this. And if it's water and land, is it the crocodile that gets it, what God gets to have control, or maybe you have to do all three, because they might all gang up on me and kill me. So it creates a very slave mentality. All right.
And just to piggyback on that as well, these gods, they in their mind were oppressed by them, and so there was a fear of death if they got mad. But see, God, here in the beginning, God saw that it was good. It's not something to be feared. It's not something to be scared of. It's not something to be oppressed over. God made it. It was good. It's good for your life.
You know how people say that by their fruits you'll know them, and Jesus said it too. And so some people say God is good all the time God is good. So you can see that from this chapter that God is a good God, because everything here is good. Nothing happened that he says, "Oh, it was okay, let's take it." He didn't say that. It was good, I take it. Good, I take it. But there's nothing was not good. So, and today we can't say like somebody's sick or suffering, dying. So it's from God or something. We need to be careful when we say that, because
you're starting to get some glimpses now of where we're headed here, because that's a very important point. You hear this, and when you read it and you listen to it, you hear these punctuations over and over again. Yeah. That is repeated patterns, right? And you could almost go, here it comes again. And it was good. God saw that it was good. And God said, and God did, and so forth. Well, as we look at Genesis chapter 1, we need to kind of start to see in our minds, if we're going to see deeper than just, okay, God created everything. I used to think God is a drive-by creator. He'd be floating around in space. This is kind of goofy, but this is the way you think. You'd be floating around in space doing nothing, you know, and all of a sudden you go, let there be!
Yeah.
Fling it, let there be out there, and all of a sudden, poof, light.
starting to
And floating around, let there be, whop, and there's this.
Yeah.
But when you really hear this God is not detached. In fact, a woman who I was working with, she said, don't forget to tell him this. So I've got to make sure I tell you this so that I don't get in the doghouse. What do theologians say that God created things from?
Ex nihilo.
Which ex nihilo, which means
Nothing.
out of nothing. All right, so let's just test that theory right at the beginning. Before God created, what was there?
Darkness. Water.
No, there was nothing.
Nothing.
The earth was without form and void, which formless means it has no shape. Void means empty. There was nothing there.
But see, they say nothing,
Okay.
which, to me, if it's nothing, the void in space wasn't, I mean, the molten rock or whatever wasn't even there.
Right.
The connotation is that he just spoke and it started, which,
We still haven't heard though. And I asked the question,
I'm gonna see where you're going.
follow what I said.
I doubt.
What existed when nothing else existed?
Nothing.
God.
God did. If God existed, then what did God make everything out of?
God.
Himself.
Wow.
That is, well, think about it. That's why everything has its origination in God. Everything is sustained by God. In Him we live and move and have our being. That's because He is the source of everything. And if you say He made it out of nothing, that's not what I read. That's a very theological, quote-unquote, treatise, but I would challenge that according to what I hear in the passage. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So we need to unpack that because there are a couple of things going on here. I guess I'm